Talent can open a door, but discipline is what keeps it open. Every day, people rely on what they were given instead of building what they could become. Talent feels powerful in the beginning. It gives you a head start, it gives you confidence, it makes things look easy. But over time, talent without discipline fades. It gets outworked, outlasted, and eventually replaced by those who show up every single day, regardless of how they feel. Because at the highest level, it's not about who is more gifted, it's about who is more consistent. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't need attention. It works in silence, in repetition, in the decisions no one sees. It's waking up when you don't feel like it. It's training when you're tired. It's doing what needs to be done, even when there's no motivation left. And that is what builds real strength. While talent waits for the right moment, discipline creates it. While talent depends on conditions, discipline adapts to any situation. There will always be someone more talented, someone faster, smarter, more naturally skilled. That's reality. But there will not always be someone more disciplined. Because discipline is a choice. It's a decision you make every single day. And most people don't make it. Most people choose comfort. They choose ease. They choose to stop when it gets hard. And that's why discipline wins. Talent can take you far, but it cannot carry you forever. At some point, effort becomes the difference. At some point, the work you put in starts to matter more than the ability you were born with. And that is where discipline takes over. Because discipline doesn't rely on feelings. It doesn't depend on motivation. It doesn't need inspiration. It simply shows up and does the work. There will be days when you feel unstoppable, when everything flows, when progress feels natural. But there will also be days when nothing works. Days when you feel slow, tired, unmotivated. And those days are the most important ones. Because that is when discipline is tested. That is when your commitment is revealed. Anyone can perform when they feel good, but only the disciplined continue when they don't. Discipline builds habits. And habits build results. What you do daily becomes who you are. Not what you say, not what you plan, but what you consistently execute. And over time, those small actions compound. They create progress that seems invisible at first, but unstoppable in the long run. That is the power of discipline. The truth is, discipline is not easy. It requires sacrifice. It requires you to say no to distractions, to comfort, to instant gratification. It demands focus, patience, and resilience. But everything it demands, it gives back multiplied. Because discipline creates freedom. The freedom to achieve your goals. The freedom to control your life. The freedom to become who you are capable of being. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to be the fastest or the smartest. You just need to be consistent. You need to show up again and again, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. Because that is where real growth happens. Most people underestimate what they can achieve with discipline. They look at talent and think it's the deciding factor. But history shows something different. The ones who rise, the ones who last, the ones who build something meaningful, they are the ones who stayed disciplined long after others gave up. There will be moments when you want to quit. Moments when you question if it's worth it. Moments when the effort feels too heavy. But those moments are temporary. What you build through discipline is permanent. The strength, the mindset, the habits, they stay with you. In the end, talent might get attention, but discipline earns respect. Talent might shine for a moment, but discipline creates a legacy. And when everything is tested, when the pressure is high, when the challenge is real, discipline is what remains. So choose discipline. Choose the hard path. Choose to do what others won't. Because while talent may give someone an advantage, discipline is what guarantees progress.